Okay, welcome back to Mr. Turner's art class. What I have here is basically you're about to do origami. I have two origami cranes. Okay, so I'm going to show you a very easy way to make these cranes. So all you basically need is notebook paper, copy paper, or a set of scissors. And I'm also about to cover like how to do this if you don't have scissors, because that's probably going to be a problem with the school I work at. Some of the little kids, they don't always have all their supplies. So I'm going to show you a way you can um, make it without scissors. Why do you need scissors? Well, okay, so let me move these little guys out the way. I'm going to need them in just a minute. Let me put them over there. I'm using this red background just to make this a little bit easier to see. Now, again, you probably only have notebook paper. Now, if you can go buy origami paper, that's great because it comes, pre-cut, so you can just make you could omit this part I'm about to show you. But if you don't have origami paper, you're pretty much going to have to get this 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper, which is copy paper, or it could be notebook paper. You're going to have to take this edge here and fold it to here. Okay, so the thing is, at this point we have to cut this off. Cut this part right here. Cut along that line, cut this off. Now, this is going to be the problem that some of the kids are going to have, because not all the kids have scissors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, all you're going to need, ideally, you need some kind of bottled water and the cap. So I'm not going to use the scissors. So, okay, if you have the scissors, just cut that off. If you don't have scissors, okay, you're going to have to do what I'm about to do. So I am going to take this paper and I am going to fold it on this line. So try to get it as close as you can to that line without bending. Get it to that crease. Get it on that crease line. Okay. So I'm just checking it. I'm trying to get it as close as I can to that crease. Okay. I'm going to smooth it out really good. Okay, so I bent it that way. So it's on that line for the most part. I could get a little bit closer. Let me see. I can get a little bit closer right there, but all right. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to bend it backwards on that line. So basically, I'm weakening it. Okay, so I'm bending it that way, bending it that way. I'm going to do it one more time. Come back over, bend it again. Now, that bottle of water I had, I filled it with some water. Filled a little bottle cap full of water. Matter of fact, I need some more. Okay, so there's water in there. Now, I am going to take some of that water. I'm going to put it on my finger, on my fingertip. I'm going to wet my fingertip. I am going to put it on this edge here. I want to saturate the edge, this edge that I've bent, with that water. And you see how it's kind of like doing that? That's what I want. I am trying to weaken it. Now, don't pour the water on it. All I'm doing is wetting my fingertip with the water, and I'm just rubbing it on there. Now, you can also do this by licking your finger. If you don't have a bottle of water, just lick your finger, and you do the same exact thing. And when you do this, you'll start noticing it's starting to do that. You know, those little wrinkles. That means the paper is getting good. It's good and weak. Now, I'm going to move this over just a little bit to that edge. I'm going to take the paper. I am going to put it along this edge. Okay, so the crease is on the edge of the counter or your desk or whatever. Hold your hand on it here, grab the paper, pull it. There you go. Just tore it right off. It's just that simple. So now I have my square. Hopefully you don't get too much water on it, but you know, if you do, it's okay. You still make it work. Now, okay, so I got a crease going right there. I'm going to bend it this way because I need another crease. Make sure you don't have any water on your fingers. Now, this is why I love origami. Okay, first, origami is a Japanese art, and I love the artwork that comes from Japan. I really do. They teach this to their kids, you know, at a very young age. And the beauty of origami, in addition to being a very beautiful art form, origami is the art of folding paper, but being a beautiful art form, it teaches how to follow a process, a step process, like step 1, step 2, step 3, you know. It teaches you to be order, it teaches you to think, it teaches you to be creative. So I love origami. So, and this Origami Crane, I mean, usually start them off at like 5 years old. And I know most people, most Americans particularly, will say, oh my God, it's the Japanese, but the Japanese are smart. I'm like, they're human. You're human. Our kids are human. So anybody can do this at any age. It's not like one group of people is smarter than another. It's just, they just work with their kids on this stuff at a young age. So you can learn it too. And I know I have some older kids that'd be like, oh my God, it's hard. Remember, this is rated for somebody that's 5 years old and up. You have little kids building cranes and you have adults making cranes, so it's not hard. You know, it's just following the process. If you can make the crane, you can make pretty much any origami animal that's out there. So don't make it hard. Now remember, you're going to fold it this way, have a line going that way, going to turn it, fold it that way, so you have a line there, and then you're going to have the paper like sideways and then fold it. So you will have basically an X with a line coming through it. Now, once you have that X, okay, we're going to fold it like this. We're going to fold it down. Now, I'm putting my hand in here because I'm gonna make this easy. We gotta take this crease right here, this line, and we have to make it rest on this crease. So I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to push it in just a little bit. We're going to crease the crease. Right there. Make sure it's like in place. Before I start smoothing it, I'm going to raise that up so I see that that line is right there. It's right there. Good. Now I'm going to smooth it. And you really got to make sure this thing has good creases. So again, it was like this. All I did was I kind of took my thumb, I put it up in here, right? So that kind of opens this up, this area here. Take this crease, push it in, then lay this part flat. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to kind of stick my hand in there, or my thumb, raise it, kind of make a little pocket. I'm going to take this crease right here, and I'm going to put it towards right here. Make sure that it's in there pretty good, and then I am going to flatten it. Okay, so basically I will have a diamond. I will have a little open part that looks something like this. Okay. Now, while I have my diamond, I am going to take this edge and I am going to fold it here to the center crease. So I'm going to take this edge, I'm going to fold it to where it is here. So it'll be like that. Do the same thing to the other side. Try to get it right on that center crease. So it's like that. So that's all I did. All I did was just take the top portion. I did not do the bottom ones. I did that. Now I'm going to turn it over. Lay it flat. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take this edge. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to take this edge. I'm going to put it right here as well. Okay, so I have that. So again, that's all I did. One, I had it was open, and I went two. So it's like that on both sides. Now, I have to open it back up. I'm going to open it back to a diamond. Lay it flat. Make sure that this part here is facing your stomach or your chest. Now, this is kind of the hardest part about this whole crane, okay? The pedal fold. And again, if you can do this fold, you basically can make all kinds of origami. Now, if you did your creases, I mean, one, make sure that your creases are really good and smooth, okay? Because this should be easy. If you did your creases right, this thing is just going to fold into place. Now, do you see how I'm putting my fingers down on this part right here, on all of this, but I have this hand here, okay? So if I very carefully pull back, do you see how like the left and the right edge of this paper is trying to come in? That's what you want. So I'm going to just let it fall into place. I might have to help it a little bit, but I want this edge right here, the left and the right edge of this paper, to fall right on that center line. So again, I might have to help it because see right there I had a little kink. I call them kinks. Anytime like you have like those little bad folds or whatever, the paper kinks up a little bit, it messes up your crease. I call them kinks. So I'm gonna get those little kinks out. So you see what I did. So again, I'm just gonna open this thing back up. So it was there. I hold this down, I grab this, I pull back. You see how it's kind of folding in. That's what you want. And see, I got a kink right there, so I need to fix that. I want that smooth. Okay. If this part right here comes together like right up on each other, great. If it don't worry about it, but just make sure you get it as close as you can together, just as long as you don't have any kinks and it's laying down nice and smooth. Now, okay, so you should have that. We're gonna turn it over. Again, this part right here is facing. I'm gonna put my fingers right there. I'm gonna grab this part and then I am going to fold it. See how it's trying to come in, but I might have to help it again. So I'm going to kind of twist it just a little bit on the inside. So you see how it's trying to come in? Alright, so now I have to help it a little bit because I want this edge here and this edge to fall right there. So that one laid down pretty good, but I got a kink right there. So okay, there we go. So that one laid down. Just make sure there are no kinks. Get rid of that kink right there. There you go. So we should have like a big old diamond. I'm going to smooth that out now. Because again, we want our creases to be smooth. So just smooth it out. Now you're going to have this little section right here that flaps. Make sure that's facing you, facing your stomach. Now, I am going to take this edge. Okay, I'm going to leave this down here, but I'm going to take this top edge and I am going to fold this edge to this center line right here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so you will have that. That's all I did. Took that, went to there. I am going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take this edge right here and I am going to fold it to there. Again, make sure you don't have any kinks. Raise that up, you'll have that. I'm going to turn it over. I must do the exact same thing. I am going to take this edge now, this edge here, and I am going to put it right there. And then I will do the same exact thing. I will take this edge and then I will put it here. So you will have something that looks like this now. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to fold it. I'm going to take these edges and I am going to fold them together. I'm going to take this edge, I am going to fold it together. So I will have something that looks like this. Now, I am going to, at this point, I am going to take this part here, fold it up, turn it over. I will take this part, fold it up. I'm folding it up on this crease right here. fold it up, turn it. I am going to close it. Okay, so it should fold in on each other. So if you see how I'm doing that, it should just fold in on each other once I fold it. So I have that. Now basically you got your crane. So all we have to do now is, this is the wings. These big parts here are the wings. So I just fold that down. I'll touch on that, pull that down. We'll round those off in just a minute. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we got a head, and a tail. Now it doesn't matter which is which, but I'm gonna go for the straightest one. For the head. This is the straightest one, so I'm gonna use that one. So I'm gonna pull that this way a little bit, and then I'm just gonna pinch it so it'll lock that in place. I am gonna take the tail. I'm gonna pull that out just a little bit, pinch it, lock that in place. I'm not gonna fool with this. I'm gonna leave that just like it is. Now, as far as the head goes, all right, you see how there's a line that's like running right here, okay? All I have to do is just take the head, I'm going to bend it, and you should notice that it's trying to fold in on itself, like right there. Squeeze it. Okay, so just bend it and squeeze it, bend it and squeeze it. So you have that. Okay, so you got that bending like that. The wings, I'm going to put my finger right there, and then I'm just going to round the wing off. Put your finger up in there, round that off, so you got your wings. Move that tail out some more, so let's do like that. Just pulling on the wing to round it more. You got your crane. Now I'm going to give it feet. So what I like to do, so they can stand up, I like to bend these out. So take the very bottom edge and bend it and squeeze it. So you see how it's like doing like that? Okay, and then I do the same thing on the back end. Just take a little piece of the triangle and just bend it. Squeeze it. So it does like that. And then you got your crane, and your crane will stand up. Okay, so they're not hard to do. It's just a process. And again, that's why the Japanese teach origami, to their kids. Everybody in Japan probably does origami. Now, you don't have to keep doing origami, because I'm quite sure if people love doing it over there, they just keep doing it. And, they might become, professional origami artists. But some people just do it as a hobby. Some people take it serious. Some just do it as a kid. Again, it's just like to learn a process. If you can pretty much make this thing here, if you can make an origami crane, you can make any other origami. I mean, the process is generally, the folds and stuff, the concepts are the same. So it's not hard. Just with this, you just watch this video, slow the video down if need be, look at how I'm doing the folds, and just try to produce your crane. Now, for my older kids, well, this is good for young kids too, what I'm about to tell you. Now, there's another reason I like origami. There's a Japanese legend, I guess you can call it a legend, where if you make 1,000 paper cranes, you can make a wish. So, for our middle school kids, of course, you got to make 5 cranes, and you're going to have to hang them. You're like, what? 5 cranes? Hey, 5 cranes better than 1,000. But if you're serious, you'll make 1,000 cranes if you really want to make a wish bad enough. I'm just going to show y'all this. Now, I am not promoting this book right here, but if y'all can see that, okay, that is a good book for little kids, okay, because that's the whole point. It was like something that happened to a little child, and it's something real tragic, and she wanted to make a wish. So she turned around and she, ended up having to make 1,000 paper cranes. Now, the cranes wasn't the point of the book, but it's the process that you saw the child have to go through. So this is a good children's book. They won't show this kind of book in schools too quick because it is an emotional book. It's a tearjerker. I would say it's on there on par with Old Yeller, which they don't even show Old Yeller in the school systems anymore. But if you want a good book, I mean, just go look for this book right here and, you know, read it to your kids or have your kids read it. I mean, this is an excellent book, but it is a tearjerker. I'm just telling you now. But you'll understand the whole concept behind making 1,000 cranes. As far as this goes, when you make your crane, okay, middle school kids. I'm not asking the elementary kids to do this, but the middle school kids. Okay, so if you make your crane, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take. I would just get some needle, thread, string, floss. I don't care what kind of string you use, but it's a lot easier if you have a needle and thread. You're gonna take the needle, cross it around, okay, make a big loop. Make a loop, stick it through, pull it at that point. Okay, you will have a knot at the end of that string. Now, you can make this easy on yourself because I don't care how you do it. Just sit here, but you can either try to come up through the bottom if you have a long enough needle, or you just come through the top, or you can come through the wing. You know, just stick the through the wing, kind of like up here, if you want to. Pull it, and just try to make it to where you tie off. Wait a minute, thing on came out. You gotta thread a needle again. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Yes, I can. Okay. That's the only thing about threading a needle. You have to be very careful. Let me do that. Okay. So, for the sake of the video, because I'm trying to keep the time down, alright, I'm going to stick it through here. Pull it. Make sure you tie a knot. Matter of fact, I'm just going to do this like real quick. Tie like a little quick knot right there. Oh, I just about to choke my crane. Okay, so have it where it's hanging. Just take another one. You're gonna end up doing the same exact thing. You just come through. Like I said, you can tie a knot through there, tie a knot through wherever. Just come through it. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go like that. Stick it in through there. Come up through there. Come back through there. There you go. You know you get the point. Okay. You're just threading it, and you're gonna stick 5 of these things together so you can hang it. You know. Now, if you go get origami paper, it'll be real pretty. You know, in past times I've had kids, they'll make 10 cranes and do them in sets, and they just like hanging them up in their room, you know, or they like hanging their origami animals up in their room. So, I mean, but this is a really nice way to present your origami just by taking string and just hanging them. So, again, watch the video slowly, you know, just slow the video down. Make your crane, you know, and just have fun doing it. If you go get the book, great. You know, like I said, it's a great read. It's good for all ages, you know, and you will learn something from it. So, okay, this is my lesson for today. I hope y'all enjoy it. You know, subscribe. I'll start putting more videos on there, and you know, just have fun. You know, creating your art. Okay, y'all take it easy.